Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Crystal and I am back with another video. In today's video, your girl is bringing you another story time because I see that you guys really enjoyed the last story time that I did. So I'm like, okay, let's just do another story time. And plus, I promised you guys that I was gonna do another one. So that is the video that I'm bringing for you guys today. But before we get into the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to your girl's channel as yet. Also hit the bell notification right next to it so you get an alert every time I post a video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. So if you want to hear this story time that your girl got for you, then keep watching. Okay guys, so if you guys hear a little bit of noise, it's my chair. It's like super squeaky, but it's like so comfortable that I have to sit on it, you know, especially that we're gonna be chit-chatting for just a little bit. So alright, so your girl's bringing you guys a story time today. I don't think it's gonna be as, is it gonna be as juicy? It's not gonna be as juicy or creepy as the last one, but this one is definitely very dramatic and just as entertaining, I would say, at least. Hopefully you guys think so too. But I am basically gonna be talking to you guys about the time when my entire nail, yes, you heard me right, my entire fingernail came off. If you are not the type of person that likes to hear about blood or possibly doesn't want to see anything involving blood, then I would definitely say maybe this video is not for you. I'm not really gonna, all I'm gonna do is show photos of the encounter of what happened. But yeah, I would say if you don't like hearing about blood or any of that stuff, I would say just click out when we get to that point, or maybe just not watch the video. Just FYI. Just saying that still gives me like flashbacks of what happened. But let's just get right into it so we don't make the video too long, you know what I'm saying? So it was a regular day, and I think this happened in 2016. So this has happened like a long time ago. So it was a regular day. I was here in the house. I don't remember all the specifics, but I do know I was home and I was making the bed, and I had the comforter that I had to fold. And I don't know if you're like me, but some comforters are just super big that it just makes more sense for someone to help you fold it. So like one person takes one end, another person takes another end. So hubby was in the house at that time, and I'm like, okay, let me just have him help me because it will just be easier instead of having, you know, like if you try to do it yourself, the comforter is dragging on the floor and all of that stuff. So it's just easier, you know, to keep it in the air, two people, and you know, you get it folded up in a jiffy. So we were doing that in the midst of him holding one side and me holding another side. We were like joking around, playing around or whatever. I don't know what we were talking about, but whatever it was good because we completely forgot we even had the comforter in our hands, and then we like just started, you know, laughing, joking around, whatever the case may be. While that was happening, I remember either him just tugging at the comforter. So obviously both of us were holding on each side, and I think if somebody, you know, puts enough pressure on one end of the comforter, you know, you could practically pull the person, you know, kind of like a tug of war when you're standing on each side of the rope. It doesn't look like, you know, one side's gonna be able to pull the other, but it's possible if you put enough strength into it, you know, that can happen. So I just remember I was joking around, laughing, all of that, and hubby ended up pulling the blanket, the comforter I mean. And all I remember at that moment was just feeling like a heat. Like, when I say a heat, like a hot feeling from the top of my head, like just radiating all the way down to my feet. It was kind of like like I don't even know how to explain it. Almost as if, let's say, there was like a signal going from the top of my head to the bottom. It was like it was just that quick. And I remember just feeling that and just freezing in my tracks, like what the fuck, like what just happened? And I realized that I had a lot of pain in my right hand. But you know when you're like, when your body goes into shock and it's like, okay, you know something happened, but you're just like too scared to even look because you're like, oh my god, what if it's like crazy looking, or what if like the most extreme thing has possibly happened, you know, just like you're being over dramatic with your thoughts, you know, based on that feeling that you have or that feeling that you got. So I remember just telling hubby, once I froze, he realized something happened. So we dropped the blanket, and I just remember like going in slow motion to like look at my hand. And when I tell you guys, like, I was in so much shock that all I could do at that moment was bust into tears and cry. You guys have no idea. I looked at my hand and there was blood gushing down, and I just couldn't believe that so much blood could come from one finger. And I finally got the courage, and when hubby saw, he was like, what happened, what happened? And I'm like, my finger, and like I'm just in shock. And I remember finally getting the courage to look down at my hand. And when I tell you guys that I went like this to my nail, like right now I don't have, you know, acrylics. But I'm gonna try to, hopefully I explain this right for you guys so you guys can understand. But I just remember looking at my finger and just tapping the end and going like, because the pain was so excruciating, there was no way it was a cut, there was no way it was a jam, it was just, the pain was horrible. Like, it was just the worst pain you could possibly feel. That's what I was feeling at that moment. So I remember just tapping the nail and realizing that it was shaking. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Please don't tell me my entire nail just came off. And at that moment, I'm like, okay, all these thoughts is going through my head. I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I don't want to go to the emergency room. I hate hospitals. FYI, I hate hospitals. I don't like it's weird to say that when I work in a hospital, but the thing, it's just something about it when you're the patient, like when you're on the other side and you're the patient, especially when something happens that you have to get treated for. I just don't like the experience of being in there. Thank God I have no issues where I've ever had to be hospitalized. I'm so grateful for that. But I just don't like the thought of having to go to the hospital, especially like I'm a Caribbean girl. Like, home remedies are my jam, alright? Like, I literally have a home remedy for everything. And even if I don't know what to do for something, I dial my mom. Ma, this happened, like, what do I do? You know, even if it's not my mom, it's my dad. Like, either of them will always be able to tell me what to do, in, you know, just to start off to fix a problem. You know, home remedies, they don't always, sometimes they kind of help with whatever the situation is. There's times where after a few days, you know, you still have to end up going to the hospital. But I just like to prevent myself from having to go to the hospital as much as possible. So all these thoughts are going through my mind, and I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Like, how can I fix this? I can't even touch it. Like, how am I supposed to be able to even do anything? And I remember just hubby saying, you gotta go to the emergency. I'm like, no, I don't want to go to the emergency. He's like, oh, well, what else are you gonna do? You know, and I'm just like fed up at this point. So I'm like, okay, maybe I could, like, you know, put peroxide on it, and maybe I could wrap it up. But keep in mind the entire nail came off. Like, you could literally lift my nail up. The only thing that was attached was the cuticle. Like, you guys have no idea. So obviously, if the entire nail goes up and the cuticle is all that's attached, that means my entire flesh from under my nail is completely exposed. And now that I think about it, like, just putting peroxide on that, I probably would have punched someone in the face. Like, don't get me wrong, peroxide is not like alcohol or any of these other things, but when you have like an actual contact with your flesh, or like a deep cut or anything, peroxide will like make you like really go crazy and like want to like punch someone in the face. That because it has, like, I don't know if you ever use peroxide. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have used peroxide, but when you pour it on a cut, it bubbles up because it's like it's cleaning out the wound. That bubbling up is, you feel that shit. Like, that's what that pain, like, that's what causes you to pain. It's almost like, not, I don't want to say alcohol, it's not like an alcohol sensation, but it has like a burning effect to it that it does. So I'm like, oh my god, you can't do that. Like, your flesh is completely out. Like, what if it gets infected? You know what I mean? Like, so at that very moment, I realized, like, girl, stop being lazy. Before you lose your entire finger, take your ass to the emergency room and go handle that shit. And I just remember I couldn't even use this hand. I had to have hubby help me put clothes on, and thank God we live like 2 blocks away from the hospital, so we literally only had to walk that way. So I finally got my clothes on, we're going. I literally was able to wrap it up with a bandage just so I can get to the hospital. So I did that. We walked over there. Of course, you have the regular wait, whatever. I finally get seen, and I'm in there and I'm panicking because I'm like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Because I'm in so much pain right now. Like, just think about it. I can't touch it. I can't even let hubby touch it, far less the doctor. And mind you, I don't even know what they're gonna do. So I go in the room, I'm sitting there, I'm waiting. The guy comes, he asks, you know, the doctor comes, he asks what happened, blasey blasey. I tell him the situation. He tries to tap it. I'm like, you know, not even letting him touch it. And then he explains to me that he has to cut off the nail because it was still attached at the cuticle. But clearly I'm in so much pain and it hurts so bad that there's no way he's gonna be able to do that without him having to numb the area. So he's like, I'm gonna have to inject you on one side of your thumb and on the other side of your thumb, and then cut off the nail and then wrap it up. I looked at him like, you're gonna do what? You're gonna inject what?
No! God, please, no! No!
Like, you don't understand how I looked at him like, are you serious? Like, you're gonna inject my flesh, like the side of, you know how painful that is? First of all, it's painful enough to get an injection on your arm, right? Or on your butt, or whatever the case may be. But to get an injection in an open wound, there is no greater pain. There probably is, maybe childbirth. So let me not say that, but it's up there. It's up there, you know, with all the other situations that cause you a lot of pain. So I had to get a tetanus shot, and a tetanus shot is basically a shot they give you most of the times if you get a cut, if you get like a bruise, or a cut, like a deep cut, or any of those things, especially wound related. They will ask you, when was the last time you had a tetanus shot. I would say 90% of the time they're gonna give you another one, unless you know like the exact date that you had it last, which in my case I don't think I didn't know the exact date. So at that point, you know, it's one of those things where either you remember or they give you a new one. It's not like one of those other shots where you can't have a certain amount. So I got another tetanus shot first, and then this guy comes with all his supplies, you know, all calm and everything, coming in. And back then I didn't know what any of that stuff was, but now that I went to school to be a medical assistant and everything, I now know that he was using lidocaine, which is a solution that, you know, numbs any area when you're trying to deal with a wound or anything like that. It's supposed to make the area numb enough for you to be able to do whatever you have to do. Let me tell you, that shit did not work. Did not work. I can tell you that right now. 2 injections of that shit in my finger, and I felt every single thing he did. Every single thing. Like, it was excruciating. Like, you don't understand how excruciating this process was to get this done. And hubby standing there, and I'm just like, I'm so over it. I just want it to be over. And I had to get my entire finger, my entire thumb bandaged. So I think they bandaged it like around my hand, and the entire thumb was bandaged. And I remember just swearing to myself, never again. I am never getting my nails done again. Mind you, that was the longest that my actual natural nails have ever grown. That was the longest they had ever gotten. And I love them so much. Even to this day, I still love having my nails long. Now I kind of go in and out. Like, there's times where I want it short, there's times where I want it medium, there's times where I want it long, you know what I mean? But because of, you know, work and certain situations, I can't always get it, you know, the length that I want. But back then, I worked at Citibank, and I used to be on the computer a lot, but I had like, I got so good at, you know, typing and everything with my nails that length already that it really wasn't a big issue. So that was the longest my nails had gotten. And mind you, I grew up biting my nails. I literally tried everything you could possibly think of growing up as a kid to stop myself from biting my nails. There were times where I would not stop biting until it would bleed. That would be when my brain would register that, okay, that's enough. Like, I would not stop until that point. And I remember getting to like 21, and I'm like, girl, you can't have your hands looking like this no more. Like, you need to stop this shit. Like, you need to grow your nails. And I remember starting to do my nails at the nail salon, and I tried all different things. I tried silk wraps, I did tips for a while because obviously that's all I could have did. They were so short. So I started out with tips, and then as they started growing, I started doing silk wraps, all this kind of stuff. And then I kind of learned what worked with my nails and what didn't. And a lot of the times they were so strong, my nails, like when they grew, they would be so strong that they wouldn't break. Like, my acrylic would stay on. I used to do my nails like literally I think every 2 weeks. Like, I used to be on point with it. So every time I went, all I needed was a filling, because it was just they looked the same. They had a little bit of growth, but that was it. But there was nothing wrong with them. They weren't chipped, none of them broke, none of that. So every time I went, I had to do a filling. Like, maybe there were a few times where I would do a new set, but even then I would soak my nails. Like, I wouldn't, that's the only thing I would do, because I didn't want to break my actual nails. So I got them to be so long that I was so proud. You gotta understand, like, if you're someone who used to bite your nails like me, like, I feel like you're the only one who would understand, like, not growing up and not having any nails, and getting to that point where your nails are so long and so healthy and they look so good, and you've never even seen them that long. That was like an accomplishment for me. So, like, I treasured my nails. Like, getting my nails done was like my favorite thing to do, you know. So that was the longest it ever been, and I just remember saying, I am never again doing my nails. I am so tired of this, because the pain was so bad. Of course, you know, when you're in pain, you're gonna talk a whole lot of mess. That doesn't mean you mean any of that shit, because I'm pretty sure 2 weeks later I was back in the nail salon. But I had to keep my hand bandaged up. Mind you, I went back to work like nothing happened. I think that was the slowest week for me ever. Like, the amount of time that it took for that to heal, I think that was the slowest I had ever been as a teller, because your girl had one hand bandaged up and I had the other hand typing. And I remember my manager saying, "You sure you don't want to stay home?" And I'm like, "Stay home and do what? What am I staying home and do? No, I want to come to work." So it was bad, guys. Like, it was bad. And I do have a little creepy confession to make. I actually kept the nail. So after the doctor clipped the nail off, it was just too precious for me to throw away, so I had to keep the nail, and I literally still have it to this day. I put it in a little box. It's very creepy and very strange. Maybe that's actually the strangest thing about me. But I actually kept it in a box and I still have it. And we're talking, this has been like 4 years later and it's still sitting there in the box. But I do have pictures of how horrible my finger looked from when I was in the house and I realized what happened to when I got to the hospital after he clipped it off, and also when they bandaged up my hand. So I'll put pictures here for you guys to see. Again, if you don't like blood, you're not gonna want to watch this part. But it was crazy. But at the end of the day, it's like, it was a lesson learned for me. But at the same time, I felt like it was just the friction and the, you know, and the tug of the pull. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I still don't understand how me holding one end of a comforter and him holding the other end caused me to end up in the hospital with my nail completely removed off. I still don't know what the fuck happened, but all I know is it was the worst pain ever. And I literally, like, I don't think I've ever done my nails as long as that since then. Like, I've probably come very close, but I've never gotten that long. But I love doing my nails. It's like being a girl, like, being a girl, it's like, it's just one of those comfort zones for us. It's like, that's our me time and our, like, comfortable time to just relax and do something for ourselves. You know what I mean? Especially if you're like me, I'm like up and about and I'm always doing stuff, and I'm doing laundry and I'm cooking and I'm cleaning and I'm doing YouTube videos and planning this and planning that, and it's like, that's my me time. That's my time to sit down, relax, not have to worry about anything, and just get my nails done. And that's like my stress reliever, you know what I mean? But I figured this was a good story, you know, to share with you guys, because so many girls love doing their nails, and I figured that you guys would relate to this so much, because I know that there's probably a lot of you guys out there who ever experienced something horrible with your nails, whether it's banging in a cabinet, because that's happened to me too. That's horrible pain as well. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. I thought it would be a very interesting story to tell you guys, especially considering the fact that I still have the nail and I still have the pictures, you know, from the entire situation. But all I can tell you guys is be careful. I know we want to look cute, I know we want to do our nails and everything, but I don't think I'm brave enough to be doing my nails like Cardi B, because as pretty as they look, every time I look at her Instagram, I can't do it, girl. One reason being my profession. I couldn't do it even if I wanted to that long. And two, because I'm literally traumatized from this experience that I had. Like, I will go long, but I will never, like, go close to that length or even longer, which Cardi B's nails are super long, like way longer, probably like two of the length that mine was at that time. So it's crazy. They look pretty though, guys. I don't think guys will understand, you know, getting your nails done and all of that. What do? They should understand, because they're so sensitive when it comes to their haircut. Like, I have to get a haircut even though they're not going anywhere, you know, which is the same thing that they say for us. Like, well, you're not going anywhere, so why you gotta get your nails done? Well, you're not going anywhere, so why you gotta get your hair done? Let that hairline recede. What's the problem? But guys will never understand. Like us girls, we just like to get dolled up, and 99% of the time, you know, we're doing it for ourselves, but they're reaping the benefits too, because they like when we get all dolled up. Hair did, nails did, everything did. They act like they don't like that, but they do. So we just gotta keep doing our nails, keep doing our thing, being us. But I just wanted to share this story with you guys. Get your nails done, have a good time, girl, but be careful, because listen, I never thought that night that was gonna happen to me, let alone with a comforter. Maybe like if I jammed it in a door, maybe, you know what I mean, maybe to that extent. But for me to literally lose my entire nail off of holding the other side of a comforter, like, you tell me what you think about that. I still to this day don't understand how that happened, but it did, and it was horrible. So lesson learned for me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I wanted to tell you guys about this. I feel like I have so many girls that follow me, and I know how it is being a girl and wanting to look cute and do all that cute stuff. But at the same time, just be careful, because you don't want to end up like me, you know, with your nails jammed in or nails completely off, or whatever the case may be. And thank God my nail grew back, because sometimes you never know the damage that you've actually done. And there's times when nails come off, toenails and stuff, and they never grow back. So yeah guys, that was my story time for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you got to the end of this video, comment the nail emoji, so that way I know you made it to the end. If you haven't subscribed to your girl's channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I mean, you already watched the whole video. Like, I see you, I know you here, I see you watching. So girl, just click the red button. It don't cost you nothing, it's free. So follow your girl, share this video if you think this is an interesting story that you know you relate to, or you think somebody else that you know will relate to. Don't forget to comment down below if you made it to the end. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the story time. Let me know also in the comment section if you guys want more story times. Like I told y'all, your girl don't have a lot of interesting stories that happen to her in her life, but you know, I'll brainstorm some stuff. I'm pretty sure maybe there's something else I can come up with. By the way, this makeup look, I used the e.l.f. Bite Size eyeshadow palette. There was one in there that I told you guys I was gonna use, which is this green and this yellow. Came out amazing. I figured I would pair it with kind of a pinkish nudish lip. I actually don't have lipstick on right now. That's just liner and clear gloss. So that's what you guys are looking at right now. But I think this look came out really cute. I think I might actually do a tutorial of this for you guys. I think it came out really nice. And your girl got her little bun. I wasn't in the mood for no wigs today. I haven't been in the mood for wigs in a while. But thank you guys so much for chilling with your girl today and watching my video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.